Good afternoon, everybody, or morning, or evening, or whenever you're watching this. Wanted to come to you this week 3, and just talk to you a little bit about something that's been going on in my household. Recently, we have been having these situations where my son doesn't want to tell me some stuff. And nothing bad. It's just like, he'll have trouble sleeping, as I mentioned before, or something will happen and he'll tell his mom, but he doesn't want to tell me. And he doesn't want to tell me because he doesn't want me to get upset at him or angry or yell at him, which are all things I've done before. But at the same time, that's not the place I'm coming from when I do those things. It's coming from a place of teaching. And so it got me thinking how we all need somebody to talk to. My son can't just bury everything at 12 years old. I can't bury everything at 12 years old. I know I've shared this with you guys before, but a couple years ago, I was just in a very bad place. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I knew I could go to my pastor. I knew I could go to my pastor friends. I knew I could go to my friends. I did talk to my wife, but I was so afraid of them knowing some of the stuff that was going on in my mind that I didn't want to talk to them. And it had nothing to do with that I couldn't talk to them. It had to do with how I thought they were going to receive what I said. And so I'm here today to encourage you to find people to talk to. I'm encouraging my son and daughter to find people to talk to. My daughter's getting ready to be 16. We just went and picked up her car yesterday. She's taking her license in a couple weeks. And I'm encouraging her to have people in her life that she can talk to, because there's going to come a point where she's not going to necessarily want to talk to me or her mom. And when that happens, she has to have people in her life that she can go to and that she can trust and that will give her godly advice. And if we don't do a good enough job surrounding her with those type of people, then she's going to go to people of the world, and the advice that she gets might not be as godly. Not necessarily saying it's bad advice, because sometimes the world can give good advice, but we're not looking for good advice as a Christian. As a believer in Jesus, we're not looking for what's good for us. We're looking for what's biblical. We're looking for what's sound. We're looking for what's going to get us into heaven. We're looking for what's going to allow us to be examples and light in this dark world. And so whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, please understand there are people you can talk to. And one of the things recently that it has been brought to my attention by myself, by the Holy Spirit, is that, in the past I've told people they could talk to me, but then with my words or with my actions, I've shut the same door that I try to open. And if I did that to you, I apologize. There are some things that I believe that are just things I believe, and my beliefs are meant for me and my household. My thoughts, my opinions, those are meant for me and my household. Jesus and Jesus in me is meant for the world. The Bible is meant for believers. It's not necessarily meant for the world. The Bible was not written to the world. It was written to Christians. The Old Testament was written to Jews as a history of Jews. And then the New Testament was written to the churches. And it was letters that were compiled and written to churches on how the church should behave and about things that were going on inside the church and figuring out this whole thing. And so for us to beat the Bible over the heads of people just doesn't make sense. But there is going to come a time when somebody's going to ask you your opinion, or they're going to ask you what you have. And in that moment, what they're really asking you for is Jesus. Because if they've seen something in you that they want, it's Jesus. If you're a believer, if you're following Christ, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, nobody wants anything I have. I promise you that. They want the Jesus that I have. That's the only thing they want. If you want any part of my life, you want the Jesus part, because the rest of it I made a mess of. And if I was still doing it, as I said last week, I would make a mess of it again. So I love you guys. I encourage you, find people to talk to, find circles. I have people I can talk to now. I have people that there will be no judgment, and I can just pick up the phone and talk to them about some of the things I'm struggling with, or if I'm starting to get in that place in my head. Recently, I started getting really stressed out, and I just started talking to people and sharing with them, and that weight kind of came off a little bit. And so whatever you're facing, whatever you're going through, turn to Jesus always and find somebody to talk to. And if you don't have anybody to talk to, I'll listen. I'll try not to give you my opinion too. God bless you. Let's not give the world our opinion. Let's give the world Jesus. Love you guys. Take care. Have a great day.